This is Chuck Huber, the voice of Android 17. You're listening to Anime Seekers. You better be, or I'm coming for you. Dragon of the Darkness, Flame!
Toku Secrets is a podcast run by the Anime Secrets website. Check us out at animesecrets.org for more anime, video game, tokusatsu content. Remember to follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or wherever you listen to podcasts today.
Hey guys, I'm Hunter Dino. I'm your Pink Dino Fury Power Ranger and your Red Cosmic Fury Power Ranger, and you're listening to Toku Secrets Podcast.
Welcome to Toku Secrets. Join us as we journey into the marvelous world of Super Sentai, Kamen Rider, Power Rangers, and many other tokusatsu. Get ready for the adventure of a lifetime. It's Morphin' time! Link to the Morphin' Course. I'm Nathan Desai, the dazzling adventurer, Boken Silver.
I'm Patrick Allen, I'm Shinken Red.
And I'm Ridwan Merchant, Gokai Red.
And I'm Anthony Davis, also known as Curie Green. And we're Toku Secrets.
What is going on? Welcome everyone to episode 126 of the Toku Secrets podcast, presented by animesecrets.org. We got the whole crew on again. Well, they kind of sum it up. King Oger has come and gone, but when one Sentai ends, another Sentai begins. And that is why today we're going to be taking a look at the first episode of the new Sentai that has just recently premiered, Bakuage Sentai Boon BOOMGER. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this in a previous podcast, but in case I didn't, I wanted to kind of just briefly explain, the meaning behind the name here. I actually when this title dropped, I showed it to my wife, and she kind of translated it to like the Bakuage part. It's a made up word, kind of like the first word for Aba Ranger, like Baku Ryu is a made up word. This is another made up word, but from what you can tell with the kanji, it's like full of energy and explosive energy and something like that. And the Boon BOOMGER, I mean, just, I don't know, kind of an explosion theme, but this is also, it's got more of a racing theme, which means that we're back to a car theme, which, I don't know, I mean, that's kind of a cool one. I think this is the first time since Boonboomger that we've had one that wasn't over. I know that there's been Sentai that have had car mechs since Boonboomger, but I'm pretty sure this is the first one where the car mechs are the driving force, pun not intended, behind this whole thing. So
Nathan,
yeah.
I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, I'm going down your path, Riz, making bad dad jokes. That's cool.
You're going down the track.
And there it is.
you shut your mouth already.
We just gotta room right along.
Oh man!
No. You gotta boom right along.
Just buckle your lip already.
All right, so we're just going to take a look at the first episode and give our overall thoughts, just like how we did the King Oger one. So a brief intro. I've already talked about the car theme. Our head writer for this Sentai is Atsuhiro Tomioka. This is his first outing in Sentai as a writer. I hear of it. He did some stuff, he wrote some stuff in for the Ni Ninja movie, but for the most part, he's just worked in anime stuff, mostly kid-related anime. He wrote heavily for the Pokemon Sun and Moon series and a few other Pokemon stuff. I saw that he worked on the Beyblade animated series.
Which one?
I couldn't remember which Beyblade, but it
must have been something I haven't watched Beyblade in years, so I wouldn't know.
But yeah, this is his first outing, and hopefully it'll be good because, last year they brought in a first-timer as a Sentai head writer, and it yielded one of the best Sentai all of us have seen. So,
also, something that's topical about Tomiyoko, he's also done Tomiyoko. He's also done some work on Dragon Ball Super, which is very topical given the passing of our dearly departed Akira Toriyama just last week.
Yes.
May he rest in peace.
The fandom lost a good one. All right, so let's jump in. These episodes.
Oh crap! He was also part of Digimon Adventure 2020 as a screenplay writer.
That's not a good thing.
But Dragon Ball Super is a good thing. I'll take that all day.
Yeah,
it has its ups and downs. I'm not gonna lie to you. When it comes to Super,
Yeah.
it's good, but then it's that type of thing.
Oh yeah, no, that's definitely true. But I liked Super more than I didn't like it. It's not GT.
Yeah, I know everybody hates GT. Anyway, we're back to having special names for the episodes now. King Oger, they were just called episodes. This time, the episodes are called Bakuages, so that's pretty cool. Our first is called The Deliverer's Handle. And strangely enough, we, for the first time, and I cannot remember when, unless some of the Sentais between Ni Ninja and Dawn Brothers have this, we have an episode where the Red Ranger doesn't steal the majority of the focus. Like, this episode actually revolves mostly around our Pink Ranger, which that's already a huge upside. Really like that. So the episode opens. We have our leading character here. Her name is Mira Shifuto. She's set to be married to this man who she clearly doesn't love, but then another man named Taya, he has this mysterious device on his wrist. He arrives in a car and takes her away, claiming that he's this guy who's been hired by her boyfriend to deliver her to him. We see that Taya is assisted by a suited man named Ishiro and a robot named Boon Dorio. His name is Boon Boon for short. They help him in like a garage-like base. Then while he's taking them away, they get attacked by... Well, first they get attacked by a gang led by the would-be groom for Mira, but then they get swept away by these two monsters. Their names are Deko Torade and Itasha. They're riding on a giant yellow talking car called Yeye Yaruka, and they're identified as the Hashirians, that which are the villains for our season. And Taya takes Mira to a clothing store after he evades them so that they can change. But then those villains arrive, the Hashirians, and they turn Mira's wedding dress into a monster, and it begins rampaging through the city, causing despair and people to scream because apparently the Hashirians are powered by their screams that gives them energy called gasolin. Really horrible pun, but that's kind of what this Sentai is going to be about. It helps them power up. Taya transforms into Boon Red. He already has his powers to fight the Hashirians. And Ishiro arrives to take Mira to the airport, but Mira decides, you know what? I don't want to go with my boyfriend. I want to fight myself because I'm tired of letting people constantly deciding my own fate, or the way that this Sentai puts it, being in her driver's seat. And she decides to take charge of her own life and help them fight. So she and Ishiro go back. Taya gives her own Boon Changer, which allows her to transform into Boon Pink, and Ishiro transforms into Boon Blue. And now that we're able to see the Boon Boomgers, all three of them, I know there's two more, but we'll get to them when we get to them. I think we've been putting this off. What do we think about the suits, guys?
I thought in stills they were butt ugly, but in motion, I actually think they look a lot better. I don't know. There's just something about how sleek and form-fitting they look that I think in motion they just look infinitely better. They're still goofy looking though, but
I still don't like the helmets though. That's like only issue with the helmets.
The visors are definitely the worst. The visors are definitely the worst part. Easily. They're unique.
Yeah.
That doesn't make them good.
No. Well, I mean, I liked the suit design quite a bit in most, like you said, Patrick. Because when I was watching them and the scans and the magazine articles and all that, they looked butt ugly.
Yeah.
But then, like Anthony said, the helmets, I just can't. I can't get behind the helmet design because, okay, so bit of a sidetrack here, but they look very similar to O-Ranger helmets, and I happen to like the O-Ranger suit minus some of the helmet design.
Yeah.
I think the suit itself is great, but the O-Ranger helmets bugged the crap out of me.
Am I the one that actually like those helmets? I actually don't mind the helmets on O-Ranger.
O-Ranger helmets, I wasn't a huge fan of either.
I didn't mind some of them.
Red and Kings were cool. The others were stupid.
No, exactly. Red, gold, and blue were okay to me.
Yeah.
I think blue and green and gold were fine, but I don't know. The star on Red's helmet just always turned me off. And apparently even Jason
Yellows was always.
Yeah, Jason
Yellows
David
was always
the star on his helmet.
Oh, really?
but Tommy is the star of Power Rangers. He needed a big star.
Oh my God.
Nathan, you know you've missed me in the 2 weeks that we've been away.
Yeah, I totally have.
But I will give them props for the outfits themselves. Like ignoring the helmets, the outfits are racing outfits. Like, they're very F1, which I like that look. And how they have like the speedometer dial kind of going up along their chest and everything. Like,
I also like the zipper thing they got going.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know. It felt right for a racing suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I probably like the way I probably would have changed the helmets is don't make the wheels the visors. Like I understand you might kind of be ripping off the Go-Onger helmets a little bit, but maybe just put the wheels on the side of the helmets. Maybe just make them a little bit more prominent, and then try to give them like a more traditional looking visor. Because I really love those tire wheel things on the sides of the Go-Onger helmets.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that probably would have been how I changed that.
I mean, I would have just made the symbol on the front smaller.
Yeah, that could have also worked.
Yeah, I think that would have worked. The fact that it's like you get the full side of the tire on the side, it's almost like they just
That's what bugs me.
Yeah, it looks like they literally just took a whole tire and just taped it to their face. It's a little bit too much.
Yeah. It is.
But here's the thing. I survived 53 episodes of Battle Fever J, so there was not a single damn suit in Sentai that can scar my eyes anymore. So
Nathan,
that's how.
Do not besmirch the artistic integrity of Battle Fever J.
Riz, I can't even lie. I can't even lie to make that sound good. No.
Nor can I, but it's fun to try make Nathan get triggered.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, I honestly like these are in the same category as the O-Ranger suits, where I wouldn't rank them like in the bottom just because the suits themselves look good. It's just the helmets that ruin them. So they're in the same category as the O-Ranger suits. Like I would never rank them. Maybe if I'm desperate, I would put them in like my top 10 worst, but definitely not top 5 because I did a whole list of like top 5 worst suits on my blog. So
is it safe to say these suits don't drive you nuts?
No, they don't drive. Anyway, moving on. So the 3 Boon Boomgers, they fight off the Hashirians in the their army of soldiers, which are called Neji Reda. Then they defeat the wedding dress monster, only for the wedding dress monster to enlarge, and that's when Boon Boon summons the the Boom Boom car system, and it unleashes their mechs. They're able to combine it to form Boon Boomger Robo because, unfortunately, Sentai has to jam in the main mech in the first episode. Kind of annoying, but whatever. They use it to defeat the monster once and for all, and then the episode ends. Mira leaves her boyfriend, and she vows that she'll fight as a Boom Boomger, and Ishiro is like talking with Taya saying, "Are you sure you want her here? Because I don't really like this." And Taya is always, she's cool. And that's how the episode ends.
Can I just say one thing?
What's that?
No.
Ninja Steel. No, quiet, Riz. Ninja Steel. This is what you should have done with your robot. Have the robot. If you have your character who in the show was a robot, right? Why wasn't he part of the Megazord?
Oh, wait, what's that? Wait, what's the name of the robot in Ninja Steel?
Redbot, I think it's, yeah.
He wasn't part of the Megazord?
No.
Oh, okay.
He was his own separate thing. He was his own separate being, and he had nothing to do with the Megazord whatsoever. He just looked like the Megazord.
He was inspired.
I didn't watch
by the Zord, but yeah.
I didn't watch Ninja Steel all that much. I thought he might have enlarged into the Red Ranger.
I did. What? I just think I did too, but he didn't do it.
God, that's stupid. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's just there just to be useless.
Speaking of which, what do we think about Boon Boomger Robo?
Very, very plain.
Yeah, I do not like it. I want King Ultra back.
I don't not like it, but I don't think it's like top tier mech either.
No.
I mean, even comparing it to the other two car Sentai that I've seen, like Engino and what was it, Racer Robo, the first car?
No, RV Robo.
Yeah, RV Robo. Yeah, both of them look significantly better than this thing does.
Yeah, by a long shot.
Yeah, I'd say
VR Robo is legitimately like a top 5 main mech to me. I love that thing's design.
It's cool.
What's that?
That finisher is amazing.
Yeah. The Rescue Megazord equivalent?
No, RV
No, the
Robo.
first one. The first one.
Okay.
Yeah. I love that thing.
Yeah, that thing is awesome.
Isn't it?
But yeah, what do we think about this episode in general? Like, who wants to give their thoughts on it first?
I've been thinking, because when I was watching the episode, I was wondering if, because it was a car themed season, was it going to mimic the tone of other car themed seasons that we've gotten? And when this episode finished, my first thought was this felt like Go-Onger in terms of its tone to me. And I'm okay with that. I love Go-Onger. It started off as just 3. They were already technically established, so we didn't have to go through the whole things of like forcing their entire, like how they get the powers and their first henshin and all that stuff in the first episode thing. They could just explain it as, well, they've been active for a while already.
Yeah.
And it has this very like lighthearted, silly tone to it. Like the villains, when the little car guy, who I'm gonna make this fan theory that he's actually an engine, to maybe tie this into Go-Onger at some point. Please, I would love to see the Go-Ongers return at some point.
Yeah.
But when he absorbed the wedding dress monster or something and started driving around that cyberspace area or whatever, those other 2 guys were looking at it on the computer, like cheering him on and stuff, just sitting like behind a building or something like this. There's some goofiness to this first episode that just screams Go-Onger to me.
And it's back to that same formula of, plastic. Because we've seen stuff in King Gojo where like the monster has this weird ability that either turns people into something or affects everybody or whatever. That does happen in King Gojo, but not as much. Yeah. Here, it's kind of back to formula of like, here's Monster of the Week. Here's him with the weird powers, and he's going to do something weird. And we got to stop him. Otherwise, the effects of his ability won't stop until we defeated him. So,
yeah. And honestly, I don't mind if this returns to more traditional Sentai stuff as long as it's fun to watch. Because Go-Onger, I'm going to make a lot of comparisons to Go-Onger, but Go-Onger is a very like simple season in terms of its structure. It doesn't really do anything daring. It doesn't do anything like that makes it significantly stand out compared to everything else. But man, it's had such a fun season to watch it. I don't care.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, oh yeah. So, and as long as that's what this season is, I'm going to be okay with it. So I like this episode. It was a very fun, silly beginning, very comfortably eased into and everything. So.
Oh, and guys, we finally have a cool Red Ranger.
Yeah, I was
after so long of having like, I mean, okay, don't get me wrong. I have nothing against my boy Kaito, you know, from Zen Kaiser. He's my boy. Cool. He was goofy, yeah, but I liked him. Don Momotaro. He's hard to read because he's kind of all over the place. You have to watch the Sentai in order to know what I'm talking about. Gira, still my boy too, but you know, I have my issues with him too, but I still like him.
Yeah, he's kind of goofy.
Yeah. But here we have, well, I wouldn't say he's cool per se. He's very calm-headed. He's very cool and collected. I would say that.
Mm-hmm.
He may surprise him and have a goofier side to him later on the line, but
he's not as calm and collected as you think he is. He's very eccentric.
Thank you. That's the term. Yes.
Okay.
Because he's so whimsical. He's like, ooh, I like your driving spirit. Here's a boon sensor. Have fun. So it's not like he had any like criteria for how to hand out the boon sensor. He's like, oh, I like this one. Here, have a sensor.
Very go with the flowy.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, he was very go with the flow. Didn't give a crap. But I gotta say, I love this character a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's not serious like Marvelous or Takeru, but he's also not a goofball completely. He's like a mix of the two.
Yeah.
Like he has some Takeru Marvelous like stoicness, but he also has some of the goofiness that like what's the Zenkaiser Red's name?
Kaiso. Oh no, you talking about
White.
Zuar?
No,
Zen Kaiser. I think.
Oh, you talking about Zen Kaiser Red? I think someone like I was like Zen Kaiser. Like you talking about like the.
No, I'm talking about Kaito. Like he has some of that goofiness, a little bit of derpiness, but he's not like in your face derpy like some of our other Reds have been.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's really well balanced to me, and I gotta say this episode. To give my thoughts real quick, because I hadn't really talked yet about it, but I enjoyed it quite a bit. I thought it was a lot of fun. Like, this isn't super serious Sentai.
No.
It's meant to be something where you're just coming in for laughs and you're here to chill. This is not like King Ozer, where you got to take everything super serious and things are like always, holy crap. This is more of a haha, look at me. We're gonna make all the car puns we can and drive Nathan crazy with them.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they constantly have to make all of these car themed Sentais more of like a parody of Sentai per se, but I mean I definitely enjoy it because I love Car Ranger and I love Go-Onger. I know most of the fandom don't really like Go-Onger, but most of the fandom is wrong because Go-Onger is awesome. So
now, one question as the resident person of the group who has seen the older stuff, you haven't talked about Turbo Ranger yet in relation to this.
Because there's nothing to talk about with Turbo Ranger. It is a completely substanceless Sentai, and And there is no way in hell that I will ever go back and watch that thing because I literally found myself almost falling asleep half the time I was watching those episodes.
Dang, was that boring?
Yes, it was boring.
Oof.
So
not turbocharged enough for you.
Not turbo what?
Charged enough for you.
No, Car Ranger was, which because of its Power Rangers counterpart, the pun still works.
Yeah, so I get what he was trying to say. That's what I was like.
Yeah, but Turbo Ranger. What's up?
It's using the American muscle car right there, Patrick. The turbocharged from America.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Turbo Ranger. I mean, I don't know if I would put it in my top. I don't know. It could be one of the worst ones, and I don't know. Maybe I also really dislike it because it comes after Live Man, which you guys know how much I love Live Man. So it's like, I don't know. It's like it's like Wild Force, a really bad season coming after Time Force. Like, kind of makes you hate it a little bit more because it comes after such a great season. So
yeah,
Wild Force may not be as bad as Overdrive or Ninja Steel, but when you look at it after it came after Time Force, kind of gets you a lot angrier than you probably should be about that season.
Oh, trust me, I was plenty angry watching it.
Yes, we all know that. But to kind of talk about this, I mentioned this before, but I'm going to mention it again. I love how they focus mostly on the Pink Ranger in this episode instead of Red, because I know that Patrick said that like these Rangers have already been established. Well, technically, Pink is being established here, like first getting her powers. But normally when they do episodes like this, it's always with the Red. Like when Kyoryuger begins, everybody has their powers except King, and then he gets his powers. And Tokuger, it's the same with Right. I think that's how they handled it in Q Ranger with Lucky.
Yeah. Same thing with Gara.
Yeah. So I'm just glad that they, not only have Pink be here, but be the main character, but she's also a very likable Pink, honestly. Like
I was about to say that.
Yeah.
And another thing that I think is very well worth pointing out here, I gotta say, I was very pleased with the pacing of this episode for the most part. There are things about it I didn't like, but the pacing I did like is we give Red a good long fight scene on his own where he hints on his own, he fights on his own, he's kind of there doing his own thing.
Yeah.
And we can kind of get an idea of who he is, how he is as a fighter and all that. And then we kind of shift gears to Pink and Blue, no pun intended on that one, actually. And, they get their obligatory first Henson because why not? The thing I didn't really like as much was the introduction of the main mech at the end. It could have just ended with them defeating the wedding dress monster and going back to base and having everyone freak out that he just all of a sudden initiated a Pink Ranger to the team without talking to anyone.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Honestly, that didn't really detract from the episode to me. Like, I know it's a nitpick that they brought in the mech early, but I don't really think it's bad.
This is actually going to be funny coming from me because I'm the one who's made the biggest stink about that exact point. But again, going back to Go Onger, because the team in theory was already established, I don't think it bothers me as much because they didn't jam how they got their powers, their first henshin, and all this stuff. Like, canonically, this isn't the first time that they did everything for the first time in like a span of 15 minutes. Because, like, in Go Onger, this is a good example, like, just in general, it's kind of established that Engino has been used before the first episode ever happened. Yeah. So in that case, it doesn't bother me. Was there some implication that the Boom Boom Robo was used before this? No, but they've used the mechs before. So it just feels like this is the next step of them using stuff, but we just didn't see the first couple of steps. So
Right.
Yeah, my only complaint about the start thing is that I don't understand why did we have 20 cars pop up at the
yeah, I
end
know.
of the
Why do they have
sequence?
so many already?
Yeah, that's usually like a
I
thing you
was kind
build
of
up.
I was kind of sweating that we're gonna have like a King Ozer mech thing where we just have like 25 billion mechs that all work together for 6 people. And it's like, please no. I'm still recovering from King Ozer.
It's like first episode, we've already got Atlanta rush hour traffic here.
Right.
30 cars instantly.
Okay.
As someone who lives in Atlanta, I can testify to that.
No. As the local Houstonian, I must also point out this is very Houston-like as well. Suck it, Atlanta. You may be crazy with your driving, but you're not alone.
Now, I just have to pick on Atlanta because it's the one major city I go to the most, and I hate it. I don't like the city of Atlanta very much.
I like Atlanta for Ranger Stop and Nathan, and that's about it.
Yeah.
But it's funny that we're talking about this because we're about to get to a Sentai and Ginga Man that has kind of like shaped my opinion on main mecha first appearances. So
yeah.
When we get to episode 7 of Ginga Man, I'm going to take stage because I got a lot to talk about that one.
Oh, and I just want to say, if we're going to talk about Rangers that transform by like spinning something on their arms, I just want to say that Mira's first transformation like that, she did it a lot better than Mac Hartford. Just going to say that.
Yeah.
Accelerate. Never get over how horrible.
Metaphorically.
Yeah, I hated how he said that.
I just had to find a way to take a jab at Operation Overdrive because that
I'm
transformation
all for it.
reminded me of that.
Also, can I just compliment this because this was kind of a complaint we brought up at the very last second when it came to King Oger. I love how simplistic and tame this henshin sequence is.
It is.
Yeah,
because it got a little bit old how like long and drawn out King Oger's was. So
you thought King Oger was long and drawn out?
For what it was, how they had to show everybody flicking a switch, and they had that whole long like just can you just have them like snap to it because they didn't have like a CG henshin sequence. It was all done in like real time. Just have them snap to it and be done with it already.
I honestly
they had the comrade treatment.
Yeah,
comrade be transforming.
It's better than like the Cosmic Fury Dino Fury sequence, which takes.
Well, if you're gonna have the long drawn out ones, at least make them visually appealing, like the Cosmic Fury. Because I did like the Cosmic Fury morphing sequence.
Oh yeah, same.
But the fact that they tried to do it in real time and still had it long and drawn out, visually it was just boring to me. So
yeah,
pick one.
Nah.
But I just want to say this, like, we don't really have to talk about the villains because I don't think the Hashirians have really been established much yet.
They did make me laugh a few times, though.
Yeah, they come off as pretty comedic villains.
Yeah.
I want to say this. I mean, I know, but I'm kind of mostly obsessing over Mira because she's the focus of this, but she is a great character right from the starting game. Like, I love how bubbly she is. Yeah. She gives off good vibes. And this may be a bold statement, but if she continues on with like this momentum that she has with this first episode, if I were to do a list where I don't allow White Rangers or Rita in that regard, she could be in the top 5 Pink Rangers, possibly, just because of all the good vibes that she's giving me, and maybe that kind of says a bit on how there's not that many great Pink Rangers in Sentai, but I don't care. She's still a great character thus far.
Okay, time for a Riz hot take. You ready? She's much better in one episode than Yuri was in the entire season of Time Ranger.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah,
I knew that was. I knew that was coming.
I mean, genuinely, I do kind of agree too. Like when she was trying to do her roll call thing and she basically fell over, I was like, yeah, I like this character.
That was adorable.
Yeah, I know.
And then she stuck the pose by like
yeah
on the ground.
He's like, yeah.
Ta-da.
Yeah, she's
yeah, she's a good pink. I like her.
Yeah.
But Taya, I can't give enough love to that guy Taya. There's just something about him that I really liked. And it comes back to that discussion we had a couple of episodes ago where we're talking about I'm more into the serious type of reds than I am the goofy ones like Gira and King and all them. Like Marvelous, Takeru, were both really serious good characters.
Then you'll love Ginger Red when we get to him.
I know.
But
the thing is, we've had serious reds that I've also not liked. Looking at you, Geki.
Thank you. I was sitting here like, please call Geki out.
Obligatory hate on Zan because screwed Zan.
Yeah,
okay,
fair
good.
enough.
I'm glad we got our Geki slander out of the way in this one. We needed it.
Well, no, it's like, okay, so Geki and Zan are two sides of the same coin for me. Both really bad reds for very different reasons.
Different reasons, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But Taya takes the best parts of both of them. He has some of that stoicness. He also has a little bit of goofiness, but he knew how to blend it together to make it something worthwhile.
Yeah. Like how he just casually walked into that clothing store and then put up a credit card. It's like, I'll buy everything.
Yeah.
It's like,
okay.
What?
I'm by the whole store. He's out by the whole store. I'm like, what?
Okay. I have a lot of questions right now.
Just so casually.
I need to watch episode 2 and 3 to see if we get any like background into where does he get the money from?
I mean, I feel like
maybe the jobs pay well. Maybe the jobs.
I feel like we will, because going back to mirroring Boonboomger, the first episode, the three of them were pretty much established, and I think the next few episodes they introduced Green and Black, and then they kind of did Red, Blue, and Yellow like origin episodes. Yes. So we could get those within the next like 3-4 episodes or so for Red and Blue. So
yeah, and I personally want to give Taya a shout out because honestly, like, he's already a pretty unique red because I honestly can't think of any other reds. And keep in mind, I've seen quite a few Sentais, so I can't think of any red that, you know, really resembles him. Like even some of the past ones, because like you have all of the Showa era Sentais where most of the reds are just these stereotypical like heroic Superman type, like Superman and like the George Reeves, you know, series, like Golden Age Superman type of character. You know, then you have like the 90s Heisei where all of them are like I don't want to say Geki is the complete stereotype, but he's kind of, and then, because I don't know, I honestly couldn't tell the difference between Rio and Geki in some cases because they're both not really great characters. But
that's not a good sign.
Then Rio from Die Ranger, that being the case. And then,
well, except the only difference between Ryu and Geki is that Rio did 90% of the work.
Yeah. Well, he was literally kind of on his back, like legit.
Well, okay. The other difference is, and I haven't seen Die Ranger, mind you, but I'm pretty certain Ryu didn't tell his Zord, "Suck it up, Buttercup. Get over your dead master."
No.
And then we kind of entered. Well, okay. I guess Ryu is kind of the typical red Sentai from that time, like this stoic, heroic dude. Like, you know, then we kind of got it shaken up a little bit with Mega Red, where he's kind of a goofball and all that, but I mean, still a likable character.
He's the only one on the Mega Ranger roster who isn't serious.
Yeah, I mean, really.
And like ever since then, we've just had reds that are just like, I mean, occasionally we get some people like Ryoma and Go Red, but for the most part, like reds just tend to be kind of like, you know, just kind of a goofy, like, you know, lighthearted type of person. And it's worked. I mean, I like, if you want an example of how to do like a lighthearted red who's kind of an idiot, Hurricane Red is perfect. Because Hurricane Red, he's an idiot, but he's a lovable idiot.
Yeah. No, like again, here come the Go-Onger comparisons again. Go On Red is another one that I'm a fan of.
Yeah. He's a doofus, but he's a lovable doofus.
Yeah.
And I guess the only comparison I could give Taya is maybe he's a little bit like Abba Red, but because Abba Red was kind of a mix between the lighthearted people and the serious people, but even then that's kind of stretching it a little bit. Like, I don't know. Taya is so far striking me as a pretty unique red. And maybe I'll see some other reds, although I'm pretty sure I won't when I look at Knee Ninja through Dawn Brothers. But
okay, you're gonna have the idiot from Knee Ninja to start off your journey, and that's gonna be fun for you.
Oh, it's already fun for me, believe me. But yeah, Taya, even as someone who is well on his way to having seen almost every Sentai, he's a pretty unique red, even in my case. But let's talk about the Blue Ranger Ishiro. What do we think about this guy?
Don't know. He didn't really do much. He didn't really present himself too much. I just hope he doesn't turn into another one of those like stone kind of antagonistic rivals to the Red Ranger Blue, because I don't like, because that was one of the things that turned me off, because I tried to watch Knee Ninja when it started, and Ow Ninja immediately went to, I want to be better than you, and that was his whole character, and I hated it instantly. And I don't like those.
He's like, oh, I went to magical school. I'm gonna be better than you. Shut up.
I just hope he's not like that. Like, he can be the super serious member of the team. Just don't make him your like tunnel vision rival character, please. I don't want that.
If you want to make him super serious, I don't know. The perfect example of how to do a serious character, and again, I really hate to bring up Go-Onger again, but here we are. Do Gunpei, because Gunpei was a funny, serious character.
Yeah.
He tried to be serious, but the season wouldn't allow him to be serious.
Goofy as the rest of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because I couldn't see him be like Go On Blue, because Go On Blue was just kind of an overall like nice guy type of person.
Yeah.
Not a bad character, but he wasn't a serious character.
No.
But like Gunpei was constantly trying to be serious, but you're in a series where your mechs are like a bunch of talking animal cars, so you can't really be serious in that.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, I just hope that we get something like that with Ishiro, but I'm pretty sure the next episode is probably going to give him more of a character. So that's why I'm not going to take up too many points with Ishiro.
Nah. There's not enough to really say with him right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you want to add anything, Riz?
Yes, all of the above. I like Taya the best. Mira's pretty awesome, and I know next to nothing about Ishiro.
Yeah. Almost as if he seems very antagonistic, not towards red, but towards pink. He's like, why her? Like, why her?
Yeah, I don't think he's going to have much of a rivalry with Taya since they've already been working together, but it'll be with like Mira if there's any rivalry.
That I would welcome, though, because having someone not be the rival to the Red Ranger would be a different and unique thing to do.
Yeah, and if they go the route where like maybe it's not I want to be better than you, more like the route
I don't
like,
accept you.
I don't want you.
Or like, why are you treating this like a game where like you're just doing this because you think it's all fun and hunky dory when we're trying to like actually save the world? Like, what's wrong with you? So I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure it could work, and we're gonna have to see how the Black and Orange Rangers kind of play into this as well. But that's another thing. I'm glad that they didn't try to force the Black and Orange Rangers introductions in this series either.
Yeah,
I think the recap I read did say that the Black one appeared briefly here. I didn't see that, but I do remember seeing the guy who's going to become the Orange Ranger in it for like 2 seconons.
Yeah.
So I don't remember the Black one though.
I think
he was the cop that was like
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's exactly like Gunpei Ishihara.
Yeah, he literally is though.
Boon Black
was
and
the one that
Black
got
are literally
turned.
going to be the same character.
He was the one that got turned to something due to the monster's effect or whatever.
Oh, okay.
He was like, "Stop right there! Oh, it's a monster! Oh."
Okay, well then I like that too because that the series doesn't like kind of hammer in that like, get it? This guy is going to be a ranger in a couple of episodes. Get it? Get it? Like, because I hate it when they spell that out. Like, that's one of the reasons why I liked the King Oger episode too. Because honestly, like, if I didn't know any better from the cast review, I wouldn't have immediately assumed that they were going to make Gira red watching the first episode of King Oger. So I like how. I mean, again, I don't really watch the cast reveals of these Sentais all that much. So honestly, if I didn't know any better, I probably wouldn't have thought that cop was going to become Black in a later episode. Orange, yeah, probably, but he's only in the episode for like 2 seconds, so I can kind of forgive that. But what else do we want to say about this one, guys? Anything else?
I know that the theme song was only played during the mecha sequence, but that song's been stuck in my head for 4 days. It is so catchy. I can't get it out of my head.
Yeah, all the car theme. Well, okay, not the Turbo Ranger one, but all of the car theme Sentais have really awesome themes. I know people don't talk about the Car Ranger one that much, but I love the Car Ranger theme song.
It fits the tone of the series, so that's all that matters to me. But yeah, the Go On's Your theme and this theme are really energetic.
Yeah. You know, somebody once, Easy Rider, this guy who used to do the Toku Time show, he once actually put like the Go On Your theme song over like a Mario Kart level, and it's just like, yes, the Go On Your theme song should be played over Mario Kart. Somebody make that happen. But what do we want to give this out of 10, guys? This first episode,
I'm giving it a 9, honestly. Just because it was
I'll give it a 9 too.
So simple.
I'm going with a 9.
Fun.
I would give it a full 10 with one of those helmets, but
yeah, I think a 9 is appropriate. I like because even though because I think this episode does a much better job, even in the King Oger episode, first episode of King Oger, of establishing who these characters are, at least giving us the basis of their personalities. Like we get some ideas with Taya and Mira, and even though Ishiro isn't in the episode that much, you can at least tell that like he's the serious brainiac of like, the smart guys. So yeah, I think that a 9 is very much appropriate. Probably one of the best first Sentai debut episodes I've seen in a long time. So, because I know I'm pretty sure I gave the King Oger episode a 7 because King Oger would go on to be awesome, but the first episode wasn't the most amazing first impression, I guess you could say.
It was very cluttered.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this one. I remember texting Riz when I watched this, like, okay, if this is a more comedic Sentai, then I'll be able to tolerate it. And like literally like 10 seconds in, I just sent Riz a text message saying, oh yeah, this Sentai is definitely going to work. I'm sold on it.
Like the episode literally begins with him pulling up and taking a woman away from the altar and throws her in a car and drives away, and then he gets chased by like the mafia or something. Like, what is going on?
Yep. Okay. Now that I know that you don't expect me to take you 100% seriously, you are definitely going to work well.
Hey, he got to go faster, right?
Yeah.
Oh. There's another pun. Oh my god.
Blast Green Hill Zone theme.
That was not a pun. That was a Sonic reference. Damn it.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay. Blast Green Hill Zone at deafening volume.
But anything else before we wrap up, guys?
Okay. This just makes me want to. This just makes me want to review Go Onger sometime soon.
Yeah, we should get to that soon.
We should really get to Go Onger because I remember last time we were talking about Riz mentioned something about liking Kyoryuger because he likes fun seasons. I was like, well, we need to watch Go Onger. We really need to watch Go Onger soon.
Yeah, we'll be able to get to that soon, hopefully.
Yeah.
But anyway, this was our review of the first Bakuage of BOON BOOMGER. Next time, we're going to do a whole batch of episodes. We're going to try to do episodes either 2 through 4, 2 through 5. But yeah, this episode does look at like it has us sold on the series for the most part. So I feel like we'll be able to review it, just like we did King Oger in like batches. Definitely looking forward to it. Couple of updates on some of our next podcasts. We have completed our Time Ranger versus Time Force podcast, and that's going to be going up the week after we post this one. We're going to be getting started on our Gingaman review in about a week or two. We're going to be taking a look at chapters 1 through 12 in that review, and we hope you guys will check that out. And we got a whole bunch of other things planned for you that we hope you guys will enjoy. We definitely have a lot of fun stuff. I feel like we're going to have a lot of fun, for the rest of 2024. We're definitely looking forward to that. But if you guys, we thank you guys so much for taking the time to listen to this podcast. If you're listening on YouTube, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Leave comments down below with your thoughts. Also, check us out on Spotify or iTunes. And if you do that, you can reach out to us at animesecrets.org to get us feedback. And you can check out our Animated Classified and Jedi Squadron podcast too. And also check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All the social media pages. Follow us to stay updated on our content. And that's about it. Once again, we thank you guys so much for taking the time to listen to this podcast. And we'll see you guys next time for our Time Ranger versus Time Force podcast. But until that time, you guys stay safe. We love you, and may the power protect you.